Thursday morning. Thankful Thursday. How are you? I am thankful. Oh my goodness. Yesterday was a great day. Super busy Wednesday around here. You know, I do love me some Wednesday. And bumper to bumper people. Great interview. Pastor Jim was able to do prayer line. And went to the dentist. And people, I am done with the dentist unless I want to go back and get my deep cleaning and whitening. But that will not happen until the first of the year. Can you ever heard of somebody that is so excited to be done with the dentist? That's this girl right here. Yeah. Whew. I am so thankful. I am thankful for the dentist. I don't want you to think I'm not thankful for the dentist. I'm thankful for all the work that got done. But it has been a hard process. It has been an uncomfortable process. And I'm just ready to be done. You know, if I had it my way, it would just sort of like boom and it done. But no, it did not work out that way. And so I kind of wondered why it had been more difficult than it should have been. And, you know, yes, I'm a brat. And yes, I'm nervous at the dentist. So you could blame it on all those things. And then I was thinking today, as I was watching, you know, my reels in the morning and getting encouraged, I watch different things to encourage me. I fill my brain with, you know, praise and worship. I read positive things in the morning to set up my day. And I was talking about this man, and he had made a wrong turn. He had not turned where he was supposed to, and he ended up in the middle of the school zone. And he was like, I don't know why I'm here. I missed my turn. I can't get out of this turn. You know, I'm stuck. Why am I here? And he saw this little girl walking, running, and she was going to be crossing over. And then in the other side, he saw this vehicle just flying down the road. It wasn't didn't even realize they were in a school zone. It was not going to be a good moment. He's honking the horn, yelling, you know. Finally, the guy stops on a dime, misses the little girl by like a foot. And the guy's going to roll his window down, and he's just going to let into that guy. I mean, he's just going to let it rip. Guy that was speeding, that stopped on the dime, that had mercy and grace, rolls his window down. He says, man, thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for, you know, blowing your horn and making all this rat so I would stop, because my mind wasn't here. My mind, you know, I wasn't paying attention. 2 lives could have been completely ruined. Well, more than 2 lives. The little girl that would have got hit, the man that did it, and their families would have been ruined in a split second because not paying attention or whatever. But the man that did the horn blowing and all that didn't think about it that way. He thought about how God used him. God used his struggle, you know, his being late, his going the wrong way, whatever it was, to help something else, because he knew he had a pure heart, and he knew he had a heart that whatever the reason was that he went the wrong way and made the wrong turn and was stuck at the school thing, he knew God had a plan. And the plan was to save that little girl's life and to help that man. But he was willing and able to, even know he was going to be late, and even though he wasn't where he was supposed to be, and even though it could be frustrating, or even though you could get, you know, mad, or he could have went off on that other man. God used him for grace. And I was thinking about that, you know, the journey I've had the last few months, and I've had this journey, and there's been times that I have been over it, and there have been times that I have been frustrated, but God carried me through every single thing. Even when I saw it impossible, God saw it possible. Even when I didn't feel like doing stuff, you know, being on the radio, you're talking all the time, and when you're having all this dental work done, and things aren't happening the way they're supposed to be happening, or things have shifted, or things are swollen, or you've got stitches or whatever, and you still got to talk, you still got to show up, you've still got to be encouraging, you still got to do it. And God has done that every step of the way. Y'all don't even know what's been going on in my mouth, but it has not been easy. And, you know, people that are close to me, or people that know me well, have showed up and brought me protein drinks, or brought me snacks and soft foods, and prayed for me and encouraged me and all that. But, you know, God's been the one that's carried me. He's taught me all along this way. There's a purpose and a plan in everything I do. It might not be your purpose, and it might not be your plan, just like that man. That wasn't what he was thinking, why he missed his turn and why he was stuck at the school crossing. He just thought he was stuck. But God used him to save that little girl and to help that man. And I think about things in life. Every day we get that opportunity. Every single day. This Thankful Thursday, you get an opportunity to be a blessing in somebody else's life, to be the only Jesus they're going to see today. Who knows what they're going through? That you don't know if their house has got all kinds of problems. They maybe just got split up. Maybe their kids have gone wild. I don't know what's happened, but you might be the only Jesus they see today. So even though you might feel like you're out of whack, maybe you feel like you're not supposed to be there, maybe you feel uncomfortable, maybe you're stressed, maybe you're stretched as far as you can stretch. You were put there for a reason. God knew you were strong enough. He knew that you would handle it. He knew that you would smile through it. You would show up and you would be kind. No matter what the rest felt like, you would do that. And today that really, really struck a chord for me because I have showed up. Last night I showed up after I got out of the dentist. I went home for a little bit and I did lay down for a few minutes. I'm thankful I had those few minutes to lay down. And my husband had made that beef soup and oh my goodness, beef stew. And it turned out so good. And he had cut all the meat in little tiny pieces in case I had a rough day at the dentist. And it was yummy. I had a bowl before I even left to go to swimming. And then we went to the swim meet and it was so sweet. And Chloe's just the sweetest little thing. And she got first place on one of the meets. And it was just a nice moment. It doesn't take that long. It's not that far out of the way. But the feeling you get to see your grandkids and get to participate in another thing, that just blesses my mind, body, and soul. And so I'm thankful. And we came home and we had a big couple bowls of stew and relaxed on the couch. And before you know it, it's time to go to bed. And the day you look back and you say, wow, 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 wow. What God did again today. Because I showed up and because I was willing and I was able to participate. Now, that doesn't mean I always feel like I'm willing. It doesn't feel like I always feel like, and sometimes I think I just blotch it all up. There is days that I just think I blotch it all up. Like yesterday morning, matter of fact, I was having major software issues. And as my dad would say, it was human error. And technically it was. A period was added where there shouldn't have been a period added. But the file, we couldn't figure it out. Tim was even here and we're like, honey, those are two different files, but it's not reading it right. I just downloaded the right file. I had to go through 9,000 files to find the one that wasn't right. But see, I was determined. And I knew that God was going to use me, and I knew he was showing me, and I knew that he needed me to participate. So I plowed on through it yesterday. And even though I knew I had a big day, and I knew I had other things going on, I kept putting one foot in front of the other. And I kept trusting God that it was going to work out. And by the end of the day, when I looked back, as I'm sitting in my recliner and I'm reflecting on the day, as I do every day, I looked back and I said, look at the things that God did. He gave me grace when I shouldn't have had grace. He gave me a hallelujah when I needed a hallelujah. He gave me strength when I didn't feel like I had any strength left in me. He encouraged me when I needed to be encouraged. He guided me when I needed to be guided. He held me up when I needed to be held up. And he strengthened me in those moments that I felt weak. And that was just on a normal day. That was just on any given Wednesday, any time, any place, any day. If you'll put your mind on Jesus, you'll put your day, give it to him. Like when I get up, I say, what are we going to do today? Now, if you would have told me yesterday that we were going to have a major computer problem and I was going to have to look at 9,000 files, I might have put the covers back over my head and went back to bed. I wouldn't have done that because I do like pressure and I do like stress. Even though I feel like I don't like it, I do like it because I thrive on it. But I know that I have to show up. And so I showed up. And did I make it through it? Yes. Was it uncomfortable a little bit? Oh, yeah. It was uncomfortable. I was ready to throw the computer out the front door at one point. But what would that have solved? It wouldn't have fixed the computer problem. Definitely the software wouldn't have worked. And I would have been in a worse pickle than I was already in. So today, as I got up this morning, this Thankful Thursday, and I was driving my husband's truck to work because it's getting detailed. And, there's a couple things I got to do. And it was raining, and so he moved it over for me. I have the best husband ever. He moved the truck over so I wouldn't have to try to back it out in the rain over there. And I got in the truck, and I looked down, and of course it needs fuel. And I smiled and giggled, and I thought, I just love that about him, because that was something my dad would always say, don't ever let it get under half. And as I've got older, I stand by that. I get gas now on Friday, no matter if I need it or I don't need it, I pull in and get fuel. And every single time I get my husband's truck, it's in need of fuel. But that's something I can do for him. All the things that he does for me, all the juggling that he does for me, all the help that he does for me here at WAPN. He's always making me dinner. He's always checking on me, allowing me to take that nap when he knows I'm just so grumpy if I don't lay down for a few minutes. I can fuel up the truck. It's no big deal. I'm not that girly girl that doesn't know how to do it. Actually, I kind of like doing it. I know that's weird, but I don't mind doing that. I love to get the vehicles detailed and get them all smelling fresh and clean. That's just something I like to do. And so each and every one of us, God gives something to do. You might be the period in the situation that is messing up the 9,000 files. Or you might be the person that finds the file with the period that you need to find. You might be the person that brings you the protein drink today. You might be the person that texts somebody just to encourage them and strengthen them. I don't know how God uses you, but I do know that he uses you every single day if you allow him to use you. And that is kind of the moral of the story today. Sometimes I don't feel like he's using me. Sometimes I feel like I'm overwhelmed. Sometimes I feel like, what's the point? And then something wow happens, or something that kind happens, or something that strengthens happen. Like yesterday, I forgot about this. I got this email yesterday, and actually it was from the day before, but I don't check WAPN's email at home, so I actually got it yesterday morning. And it was from somebody I've known for like 30-something years, and was telling me how her fiance loves WAPN and listens all the time and has it blaring all the time. And that really blessed my heart. And you'll say, well, why did that bless your heart? Because I didn't even think she cared about WAPN or even knew the dial of WAPN. Just because she's my friend doesn't mean that she has to listen to the station or like the station or participate. But it was neat that she shared it with somebody she loved. And it just blessed my heart. So you don't know who you being kind to today, or who you being the only Jesus somebody sees today, or whatever God asked you to do today. I encourage you, go step by step, show up for whatever it is, and see what's going to happen today. Because as for me and this radio station, the file was found, the dentist appointment went well, I still made it to swimming, I had an awesome dinner, and God just did it over and over and over and over again. Oh, and I hope that you listened to the interview on Bold Ladies. If you didn't, you can go back on Facebook or YouTube and scroll down. Bold Ladies is Tuesday night. It's an organization here in town for women business owners, or like the manager of the business. It's just women businesses, and we sponsor a nonprofit every month. And I can't make it to every meeting, but I always seem to go when God needs me to go. And I got to interview yesterday a lady that it probably... every one of us has faced it. Now, we might not have faced it to the extreme she's faced it, but we have faced it and we didn't realize it. It was called medically kidnapping. I never had known about that nonprofit until yesterday, but very, very interesting. And she is the keynote speaker, or whatever you want to say, and she is the foundation that we are raising money for on Tuesday night. So if you'd like to come out to Bold Ladies, if you're a lady, and you're a business owner here in Volusia County and you'd love to come out to Bold Ladies, I'll be sharing it on Facebook, and I hope to see you there. That's Tuesday night. Let's get our favor on and get this day going. You know what a downpour is? It rains so hard you can't see anything. But that's when God wants to do every one of our lives. Pour out blessings that we cannot contain. And I love it. He pours them out every single day in my life. Just like this morning, when I was going to get in the truck, and Tim's truck is on the other side of the property. So, I could have got sopping wet, but my husband went and got it for me and brought it over. And I was standing there not getting wet underneath the cover. And I thought, how blessed I am. What a great way to start a day, knowing that you are loved and that you are blessed. I hope that you know that you are loved and that you are blessed. We are listening to WAPN. It is Thursday, Thankful Thursday, October 9th, 2025. The weather, beautiful fall weather, 83 with a low 74. Madison, 83 with a low 68. It is really weather up in Madison. If it's your birthday today, happy birthday, Matt and Stephanie and Madeline and everybody else that's celebrating a birthday, anniversary, or something special this week. Happy. Today is, oh my goodness, one of my favorite days, National Cupcake Day. I do love me some cake and cookies and anything sweet. And I actually found a surprise yesterday at the store when we stopped at the store, and I cannot wait to show you Vaughn today. I'm super excited. We all have a wonderful, great day. I am praying for you.